Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create a design using nothing but Cricut Design Space. And this is just to help you get more acquainted with Cricut Design Space and what you can do inside Cricut Design Space instead of, going to some of the other sites looking for images and fonts and things of that nature. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm inside Cricut Design Space on a blank canvas, and we're going to go straight to images. So the first thing I want to do is I want to create kind of like I want to have like an image with a yoga pose, and I want to put some words inside of the yoga pose. And so the first thing I'm going to do is to look for yoga and see what images I find out here. So I'm just going to take a look. And I think I like this one, Namaste. Now, when you click on the eye, it gives you the image number. So for those of you that may inquire, it's MA7B192C. That's the image number that I'm going to use. And if you click on additional info for that image, it gives you images that are supposed to be like within that same category, okay? So you can see a bunch of different ones out here, but we're going to go ahead with this one and click Add to. And so it's going to place that on our canvas. Now, I don't want this balance and healing and the Namaste. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a shape. I'm going to take a circle. And I'm going to use this circle to get outside of, I'm going to unlock the proportions here on the left-hand side. And I'm going to use this circle to try to take out as much as I can to where I'm just keeping her, and that's it. All right, come on, Cricut. So I'm going to go up a little bit more. All right, so it looks like I have all of the words in there. So I'm going to take another shape. This time I'm going to take a square. And I'm going to get rid of this Namaste here at the bottom. So I'm going to highlight the both of them, and then I'm going to come over to the right-hand side and slice. Okay, you're going to see your results here on the right. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the black box, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of Namaste. And Namaste is going to be on there again. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. So now we're going to use our circle again, and we're going to go back in, and we're going to, again, try to get as much of her as we can without the, I'm going to bring her in a little bit. So basically what we're doing is trying to now slice out the healing part, the balance and healing, but keeping her. Okay, over a little bit. We'll see how far we get. I keep thinking that I'm unlocking the proportions, but apparently I'm not, because it keeps end up there. There we go. So now that I have all of her inside of the circle, that's going to separate her from balance and healing. So we're going to go ahead and highlight them both and then slice on the right. Now we can go ahead and delete the balance and healing. And notice I'm selecting from the right-hand side because that shows me a picture of what I'm getting ready to delete. And I'm just going to hit delete on my keyboard. And I also do not want the circle with her inside of it. And I want to take the darker shade black. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the gray one. And so now I just have her, and that's all I want. It's just her, okay? The next thing is I want to do kind of like more of a curly afro type hairstyle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my images, and I'm going to look for an afro and search. Let's do this. And we're going to go back to okay, here we go. We're just going to type in afro. Sometimes Cricut is so finicky. All right, so we're going to take a look at these afros. Let's see what we find. And I want to use an afro from Cricut. So I'm only going to choose one that says subscribed. I'm kind of digging this one. All right. I kind of like this one too. So I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to go ahead and add that. Now you're saying, well, why would you put that on like that? Because it looks like she got a shout neck or no neck, right? So what we're going to do is, if you notice over here on the right hand side at the very bottom, you have the word contour. We're going to click on that. And then we're going to select hide all contours. And what that's going to do is it's going to get rid of everything except for the afro. And that's what I want. And we're going to just click on X, and it leaves just the afro alone. Make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to go ahead and place that on. Try to get it as realistic as possible. That looks good. All right, once you get the head on, or the afro on, we're going to highlight them both, and we're going to click on weld over to the right, right next to slice. And now you can see your weld results are here for this basic cut. And now you have an image that you've created yourself right here in Cricut Design Space. And you could save the project and use this anytime you like. The good thing about this is now you have an image that you can change colors on. You can make it whatever color you want to make it, you know, so you have a nice graphic that you can use and not have to go searching for this type of image every time, because guess what? You got one right here, okay? Now, this is going to be a cut project that I'm going to show you, so it doesn't matter what color you select here. It only matters what color vinyl you put in your machine. So I can select any color here. Cricut is not going to print this color out, okay? So if I wanted to use a blue, that means I have to have a blue vinyl that I'm putting in my machine. If I want to use a red or orange or yellow or green or whatever, that's the color vinyl I have to be putting into the machine. So just keep that in mind. Your Cricut doesn't print. And sometimes, guys, I know it may seem like I'm, you know, being harsh or, you know, being funny, but I'm not being funny. We have such new users, and not everyone understands this, and we have different age groups. So, you know, I'm an older lady. So sometimes it's harder for us to kind of catch on to things. Okay, so that's why I want to make sure I'm very clear that Cricut is not printing out anything. It's only a cutting machine. Okay. All right, so now I have this. And what I want to do now is I'm going to insert some text. Because I want to put some words in here. And I saw a really nice little quote today that I want to put inside here. So it actually says, give yourself permission to take time to breathe. I gotta learn how to spell, y'all. Okay. To live life. Go down one. To live life. To give. To love. To reflect. And I'll fix it in a minute. Okay, there we go. To reflect and to be present. And to just, told you I gotta learn how to spell. And to just be. All right. So now we have that, and you're probably thinking, well, why would you type that like that? You know. So what I'm going to do now, this is actually a font called Addenda, and I really like Addenda. I use it periodically, but it's one of my favorites as well. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and align this center. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take it down in size. We're going to unlock the proportions so we can bring it down as well. And we want to get it to where we will have to probably play around with it a little bit, but you want to get everything inside, okay? So we are going to go up here and take out some of the line space. And I probably should have fixed that first. Okay, so give yourself permission to, we're going to say, give yourself permission to take time. We're just going to play around with this. To breathe, to live life, and to give, to love, to reflect, to be present, and to just be. All right, so let's play around with that and see how close we get. We need everything inside. And I may have to split this up to get it to work. Okay, take it in just a little bit more. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the give yourself permission to take time to breathe and to live. And then I'm going to take this part and separate it out. So I'm going to duplicate this just in case I mess it up. I know I clicked on duplicate. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup it. And then I'm going to take, let's see, we got 4 lines there. I'm going to take these 4 lines. And I'm going to group them together. And then I'm going to take these 4 lines and I'm going to group them together. And that'll give me a little bit more leeway into how I play with this. Okay, give yourself time. We're going to unlock the proportions so we can get it all in and nothing is outside. Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to take the bottom half. I may have to split this again, but we'll see. Yep, I'm going to have to split it again. So click on it, ungroup it. And we're going to take these 2 and group them together. And That looks good. And we're going to group these two together. And then we're going to bring them in some. And that's still too much. I don't want to make them super duper small because then you have a hard time getting them out. Okay, give yourself permission to take time to breathe, to be present, and to just be. So that's what we're going to have. I'm going to get rid of that. And we're going to ungroup. And we'll just change courses, guys. There's nothing wrong with it. So we're going to say, and to just be. Okay. Okay, we got that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, ungroup it. I'm going to take the To Live Life. Okay. It's going to make me do it the hard way. Okay. Move that out of my way. And let's see if I can just get this by itself. There we go. And I'm going to kind of shift it around to see if I can just get it on the arm. I may have to give up hope altogether. Yeah, it's going to be too big, too many words. Okay, so we're going to say to breathe, to be present, and we're going to ungroup this. We're going to take the into. Oh, Jesus. Okay. And I'm going to take the T and the O. All right, so I'm going to leave it like this. Well, not like that, Doris, because that B, just B, looks a mess. Somehow I think I kind of sort of touched it. All right, why is this E not moving? There we go. All right, so we're gonna leave it like that. This is just to give you an idea, guys. You guys can make yours however you so choose. But I'm just giving you some ideas here. So give yourself permission to take time to breathe, to be present, and to just be. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of all this. All right. And we're going to take her out for a second and we're going to group all this together and make it as one. And I weld it all together. So after I grouped it, I highlighted it all and then welded it so that it's just one. And now we're going to take and highlight them both, and we're going to slice. Okay, so now we have our slice results, and that's what we want right there. So we are going to delete that and delete that. And now we have our image with just the words inside of it, okay? And again, you can make this whatever color floats your boat. You can add little hearts in there, little kisses, like anything else you want to add to it, you can to kind of make it stand out. I'm just doing this really briefly just to give you an idea, okay? And so now when we go to make it, it's going to actually cut around, and then it's going to cut those words inside of your person there, okay? And depending on whether or not you're doing HTV, if it's going to be something you're going to be ironing on, you want to make sure you mirror the image. If it's something that you're going to be just placing on like a coffee mug or something like that, of course, you want to make sure the size is appropriate. And the good thing about this is when I cancel out, is that now you can make it whatever size you want to make it. So if you need to go smaller, you can go smaller. You still have your proportions that you can change up top. But just keep in mind, the smaller you make this, the harder it's going to be to get those letters out of, you know, for them to cut right outside of the image. So you don't want to get it super, super small. I would highly recommend either make the words where you got 1 or 2 words on each line so that you can get more and make the words bigger, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and leave mine there, and I'm just going to show you guys what it's going to look like. So we're going to click on Make It. And I think I really made you yourself look really jacked up. All right, we're going to go with it, and I'm going to hit Continue. And we're going to say Vinyl. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this cut out, and then I'm going to have you join me for the weeding part. All right, guys, so I have my vinyl. This is a removable vinyl that I'm going to be using. Anytime you're using a permanent or removable vinyl, you want to make sure the vinyl side is facing you and that the paper backing is laid up against the mat. And your cutting machine is going to cut out your image along with your words. And then you're going to use some transfer tape to peel it off and then put it on whatever you want to put it on. So let me go ahead and Cricut, and I already hit everything I needed to over there. And we're going to get this party started. So I'm going to show you right here. This is my cutting machine. And like I said, the smaller those words, the finer the words, then the less likely it's going to print like you want it to. But we're going to take a chance and see what we get here. But this is just to give you an idea, guys. So we're going to see what happens. So right now it's cutting out our words. And I want you guys to see my shirt that I made, and I fell in love with it. And you can't even feel the vinyl on here. It's so silky smooth, but I love it. Took a minute to weed this baby, but it was well worth the effort. All right, let's see what percentage we're at here. We're at 16%. And I want to get something that I can stick this on just so you can see. We'll use one of these canvases. I would have been thinking about it, I would have made it big enough so that I could leave it on here. But it was just a thought that came in my mind. All right, we are at 31%. Let me put my eyes in there. Now, for a project like this, the strong grip transfer tape I would not recommend because you have small pieces. So I wouldn't recommend the strong grip. So I have just the regular Cricut transfer tape. We are at 44%. Doesn't look like it ate up anything yet. So we'll see what it looked like when it come out. I may not want to talk too soon. We're at 53%. We're halfway there. All right, 60%. So the biggest thing is just the whatever words you decide to put on the inside. Now, if you were to do this with the canvas, it would be much easier because you would have those words much larger. I'm doing a smaller size, so that's why, I said that it may be difficult to get the cut just right, but we'll see. My Cricut hasn't stopped yet, so that's a good thing. All right, we're at 73%. I think it's getting ready to start doing the outside of the yoga body or the yoga pose. Nope, still, yep. I don't know. I always do this when I'm using my Cricut. I have to put my hands on it like this mama's baby. All right, we're 82%. So we're in the home stretch now. We're committed to the process. It's doing the outer shape of the body. Now it's going around that afro. And we're at 100%, so it should be wrapping up here. We're going to go ahead and release it. And you guys can see that it did have some little places that it kind of chipped on because the words are so small, but for the most part, it did really good for these words to be really, really small. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take and roll my mat backwards. And you roll your mat backwards so that this stays straight. So I'm just rolling my mat. I am not pulling my vinyl. I'm rolling the back. It won't stack up. There we go. All right, let me go ahead and put this is a brand new mat, so salvage it. And we're going to go ahead and cut around the area of vinyl that we don't need. And looks like the sun just went down. I made it dark in here. So I'm going to cut some light on. All right, we're going to turn this where you can see here. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking away the excess vinyl around the image. Now we can go ahead and trash that. And now we're going to take out the insides of the arm. Okay. And I always go back and look at my image too on my screen just to make sure I'm not pulling up something I'm not supposed to, because sometimes you can't see it as well. It's kind of dark in here, and this is a navy blue. It's not black, but it's a dark color. So there we have our image part out for the body and all. Now we're going to go in and do the weeding on the words. This is where prayer will have to come into play because it's very little. But we will get it all out. Okay. Okay, that was pretty easy. We got the, you know, I hate when the vinyl gets stuck to your finger because when you want it to stick, it doesn't. And then when you don't want it to stick, it's all on your hands. All right, so we got to breathe out. Now we're going to go, and that's why it's good to get a font that is already kind of welded together so that, you know, you're not having to pick up individual letters. So you want to try to get a really nice font that is together. Okay. Let's see. Look like it took a little bit of my E out of there. So pardon my being quiet, but I'm trying to concentrate here. And I need light. There we go. Now I can see. Because I'm trying to keep my inside of my words. I may not be successful on some, but this is just to show you, so I'm not going to stress about it. All right, I'm going to do our A. Okay. The inside of that E just did its own thing, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and pull that down. I have vinyl stuck on my finger. So all right, so we got to be present and to just be about to be done. And there's a little piece right there. This is when I need my tweezers so I can do surgery. Now the sun just came back out, so now it's going to be super bright in here. All right, so now we got just B, and I got vinyl all over my fingers. So that's what we have so far. And now we're going to go up and get the top part. Now this is probably going to be the challenging part. All right. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get some tape. because this is going to help me get this vinyl off my hands or fingers, hopefully. I can't work with it on my fingers. Okay. Better than nothing. All right. Apologize for this creaky chair. All right. I'm going to take out the Y. So you can see how I'm pulling in one Y, and that's because these letters connect. So you can see how it's easier to do it that way than to have letter by letter. With these letters being so small, that would be a nightmare. Okay. We got give yourself. Now we're going to get the permission. Man, my nails are not helping me today. Okay, permission. And now we're going to do the take time. Okay, we're almost there. Sorry for being quiet. Just trying to not lose where these little letters are. And that's probably as best as I'm going to be able to get it. So here we have give yourself permission to take time to breathe, to be present, and to just be. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this and we're going to put it on our canvas over here. I'm just going to put it on this canvas. So we're going to take that and we're going to cut out a piece of transfer tape. And you know, I really don't think I need a transfer tape, but I'll use it just since I'm showing you guys. Just going to cut a piece big enough for my project here. And we're going to take the transfer tape and we're going to peel back the plastic cover of the transfer tape and we're going to lay it on top of our image. And we're going to use a little bit of pressure to get the image off of the vinyl backing and onto our transfer tape. So, give me 1 second. I need a new one of these. I've bent it on the end with all my shenanigans, and now it doesn't like to cooperate with me. So, ouch, stuck my finger. You know, you only have these kind of problems, guys, when you're showing somebody something. If I was doing this by myself, I would have been had this off of here. So I'm going to go to the back and do it like that, and then get it. You know, sometimes you got to get creative. All right. I'm going to take my image And I'm going to put the transfer tape directly on top of the image. Just like that. Want to make sure you have everything covered with the transfer tape. And I'm going to use my spatula to help me to get this image off of the vinyl backing and onto the transfer tape. You know, Christmas time is coming, guys. It's the time for you to start thinking about what do you want to sell, what do you want to gift, because supplies are going to get limited. The closer we get to Christmas, you're not going to be able to find some of the stuff that you may want to use. So I recommend you start thinking about what you want to gift and sell for Christmas and go ahead and start stacking up on that stuff. You know, marketing yourself now, especially if you're going to be selling those products. All right. So now we're going to see if this is going to move. I'm going to help it along the way a little bit here. On parts that seem like it don't want to cooperate. So that strong grip would not have been my friend for this project. I can tell y'all that much. So I'm just kind of maneuvering it to pull my words up from that vinyl backing, because they are not wanting to come up on their own. I'm going to go ahead and grab that little afro. Okay. And there we have it, all on our transfer tape now. And now you want to take it and put it on to whatever you're going to be placing it on. So I'm going to put it on this canvas. And now you're going to use that same process to get it off of the transfer tape and onto your canvas or your mug or whatever you're using to put this on. But again, get creative, guys. Start in Cricut Design Space. Start trying to use some of the images in Cricut Design Space to make what it is you need, you know, and that will help you on cost to pay somebody for some of the stuff that you do have the tools to do your own self. Now, I just threw any words in here. You guys, be better than me. Okay, do better than me. And now that we have it transferred over, we're going to take the transfer tape up, as you can see me here, and just take your time. I'll hold it that way. And pull. And there we have it, all transferred over to our canvas, okay? And then you're going to take your transfer tape and you're going to stick that transfer tape right back on, because you can use it again. It's not a one-time deal. We're going to use this again on another project, okay? So there we have it, guys. I've shown you how. This is not lined up perfectly, but I've shown you how to go in Cricut Design Space and use the images and fonts that are in Cricut Design Space to make your own designs. This is an image that you would probably see on somebody's shirt or mug, tumblers, what have you, and you're inquiring as to where did you get that image. Now you know that you can go in, and if you don't see exactly what it is you're looking for in Cricut Design Space, just make it. I do it a lot, guys. I create a lot of stuff that I'm working with right inside Cricut Design Space, or I go into Microsoft PowerPoint and do the same thing, okay? So you guys know this started out as a yoga person doing a yoga pose. They had just the straight hair, and we took an afro off of another, or we just took a plain afro and put it here, contoured it, and put it on top of that head, and it all looked like it came as one image when we know it didn't. We pieced it together to make what we wanted. And then just get creative, add some words in there. You could put some hearts or flower shapes or whatever you want to. You can add those to this so that they will cut out as well. But there we have it, guys. That is it. And it's just as cute as it want to be, even though it wasn't something I was intending to make, but I just want to take you guys through the full process instead of just teaching you the design or showing you the design, also showing you how you can put that design on something. Now, of course, you know, you could get it and do them for mugs and give them as gifts, put little candies and stuff on the inside. But again, the smaller you make this and your words being smaller, you know, the harder it is to get your Cricut to cut it where it doesn't chop up the letters because they're so thin and small. Okay. There you have it. All right. If you guys have any questions about this process, just reach out and let me know via the comments, and I do respond. If you're currently in my Facebook group, Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, thank you guys so much for following me on Facebook. If not, and this is the first time you're seeing me, you like my method of teaching, my Facebook group, we do all kinds of not games, but contests and fun things inside the group. Like I said, it's called Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. It is a private group, so if you want to join us, then you have to send me a Facebook group request to the group, okay? And then if you are currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you guys so much for supporting me via YouTube. And if this is your first time seeing me via YouTube and you like my method of teaching, then please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And I'm getting ready once I hit 4,000 members. I'm shy of it right now. Once I hit 4,000 members, I'm going to do another giveaway. This will be the second giveaway that I'm doing via my YouTube channel. But you will have to be a member to be a part of it. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys like my shirt that I created. I absolutely love it. And I'm already thinking about what color could I use and what color shirt for the next one. Similar to this, but not the same design. All right. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And you guys know my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day. Bye.